Hey, I'm Allison Chainz with Rock 100.5 The KATT, and super stoked to be here October 17th at the Chesapeake Energy Arena in the belly of the beast, hanging out with the man right here. We've got Barry Kerch, the drummer, which is always the most important part of the band, right, Barry?
No,
the drums?
I don't know about that. I just count to four and hit things.
If
That's
the bass player had been sitting here with me, he'd have said, yeah, right?
Yeah,
That's usually
exactly.
the way that goes.
No, it's the guitar player and the singer.
All right, we've got the new album out right now, Threat to Survive, and their first album, this is the fifth album for you guys,
Yeah,
right?
Threat to Survival is the fifth.
Right. Leave a Whisper was the first. And so there's an evolution that's going on with Shinedown from that first album into this one. And I kind of wanted to give the fans a little bit of insight from you on what the evolution is this is for Shinedown.
Well, you know, it's been almost 15 years of Shinedown being together, and things change, and you never want to make the same record twice. You know, that would be boring if we made Leave a Whisper 5 times or Sound of Madness 5 times or any of that.
Okay.
So we try to do different things, and then as musicians and songwriters, you change and you write about what's going on at that time. You know, every record that we've done is very introspective, this one included. They're all true stories. So, you know, the sounds evolve over time. And we look at, you know, you look up to bands like U2's and Aerosmith's, and their first stuff sounds very different than their later stuff. And that, you know, there's always an evolution with bands, and that's how you stay relevant and stick around and hopefully have a long career.
Right, and hence the connection with the listeners as the fans and stuff. They want to evolve with you, and it's your stories that you're going through that they connect with.
Sure.
So especially like Cut the Cord off of the single off of this new album,
Mm-hmm.
I really connected with that, and my son on the way here was telling me how much he connected with that, because to us, that song means if you've got something that's been harboring you, holding you down, cutting that cord and freeing yourself of that and planting that new seed for the next evolution of yourself is a very powerful message that everybody can relate to. Was that kind of what you guys were going for?
Pretty much, yeah. Whether it's addiction or depression or people around you or anything like that, it's just kind of reinventing yourself and then overcoming. So, yeah, that's pretty much the nail on the head. And everybody has their things in life that they go through and can be challenging, and that's kind of what that song is to kind of inspire you to move on to the next level.
Do you feel like that from that first album that you guys really didn't get that light bulb hadn't come on as a band and as individuals in your lives, that now that kind of evolutionary process, you got that light bulb has come on and you feel like you can cut that cord and just wipe all of those negative energies away and start new evolutions?
You try. I think they're always there. You try, but you know, we're older, wiser, and hopefully a little bit more mature. And the older you get, the more you look at life. It's a little more precious at that time. You know, with having kids, some of us have kids, and things of that nature kind of make you not want to take as many risks as maybe you did during the first record when we were just 20-year-old idiots, you know?
We didn't think we were going to do that when we were younger, man. It was it was balls to the walls. We were invincible, and that's the way it was going to be. But sure enough, that evolution.
Hangovers are a lot worse the older you get.
They have yet to come out with that cure, man, have they?
It's not happening.
It's not. So really what you got to do is just moderate and go on.
Yeah.
So many bands have destruct themselves and not become like what the Shinedown has become because of not being able to face those demons and get rid of them. And
yeah, it's sad to see, and you never wish it on anybody, you know, and we've dealt with our own, and, you know, Brent's very open about him being an addict, and he will always be an addict, and he's slipped a million times, and it happens, you know, especially if you're an addict, and you just hope to have a good group of friends around you to help lift you up, and that's what this band is. You know, we're still very, very good friends. We still hang out with each other on days off. We still like to be on the bus together, you know, so I think that's important, is having camaraderie, where you see a lot of those bands that fall apart, there's just so much hatred and inner turmoil that it makes it very difficult.
On a personal level, Barry, have you had some inner demons and addictions that you've had to deal with that maybe some of our listeners might relate to, that you could help them kind of understand what that was like?
I've been lucky. I don't. I've been known as the rock of the band and the grandpa of the band. I've been the one that always takes care of my band members. I enjoy drinking beers, but you know, I've never let it control my life. So I'm very lucky and blessed in that way. But I've also seen it from the other side of having a best friend going through it and trying to support him and keep him clean and healthy. So No, not me personally.
Well, it's a great message that you're sending out, and especially having a 13-year-old and listening to the music and being okay, yes, you can listen to this because they've got a message that's a positive one.
Sure.
I know there's a lot of parents out there that feel the same way, so I see a lot of evolution coming out of that for you with the next generation as well, you know?
I hope so.
No doubt. All right, so we're moving on to Lubbock, Texas next, correct?
Yeah, Lubbock.
So if you're in the Texas area, man, you were going to hit them up. At what arena are you going to there?
You're asking questions I don't remember until I get there.
Right on. Well,
whatever arena is in Lubbock, Texas.
You can go figure that out
Where
on the
am I
internet,
today?
kids, right? Then after that, on 10/20, you're going to Rio Rancho in New Mexico and then Mesa, Arizona after that. And of course, we want everybody to go out and get the new album, Threat to Survive, right? We can go to iTunes to get that.
iTunes,
Google,
Amazon,
Google
go to
Play.
Walmart, wherever. Buy the record, please. Don't stream it.
I got to tell you, one of my favorite singles off of it so far, and the first time I heard it, I was like, this is just a badass song, is Black Cadillac.
Good. This album tends to be a little bit more groove oriented, not intentionally. It just happened that way. So I like that song a lot too. Playing the drums on it's a lot of fun.
Kind of has a little bit of I want to call it kind of like a cowboy vibe to it, you know, like a little bit of a rock. There's a little bit of rockabilly feel in the lyrics there, if you will.
Yeah,
you know,
a little
like
bit of that and a little bit of soul.
An outlaw.
Yeah, there's a little bit of soul in it. Brent kind of went back to his roots of the Otis Reddings and things of that nature. So there could be some of that.
So who was mainly involved in writing these three singles that you have out right now with Cut the Cord, Black Cadillac?
Lyrically is Brent. Brent is the lyricist. And then with Cut the Cord, that was mostly Eric and Brent. And then I forget on the...
I thought Zach did a lot of the writing for the band as well, didn't he?
Zach does. It just depends on the song, so it kind of goes around in different areas. I personally don't do the writing because Brent hates writing with drummers. So I come in later. It's too obnoxious for him, so I come in a little bit later after the songs have been kind of demoed out and put my thing to it. So.
Well, this one just came out in September, and I know you guys are touring it right now and getting the word out about it. Anything that you can give us as far as what's coming up next?
Well, we're doing this tour, the co-headlining with Breaking Ben, which has been a lot of fun, and it's just kicking off. So we do this until Thanksgiving, and then take a couple weeks off, and then I think Brent and Zach are going to do a small acoustic run for about 10 days,
Ooh,
10
cool.
to 14 days. So that'll be fun for the fans.
See?
Yeah, and then take the holidays off, starting in end of January, we're going over to the UK and Europe.
Fine.
Doing that, and here, so we're going to be touring probably like we usually do for the next 2-3 years.
Well, we're pumped to have you come through, man, and I can't wait to see you guys again. And make sure you go to KATT.com for your concert keeper stuff, and make sure you go to Shinedown.com to get all your merch and everything. And we can't wait to rock out with you guys tonight.
We'll
Thank you so
fun.
much for your time, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Pleasure.
Yep.
Pleasure meeting you, man.
Nice to meet you.
That's a wrap. I'm Allison Chainz with Rock 100.5 The KATT at the Chesapeake Energy Arena with Shinedown, Nothing More, and Breaking Benjamin.